Deku had Permeation, Part 3. Where I left off, villains had just invaded the USJ. Aizawa yells at everybody to stay back as him and Izuku jump down and start trying to defeat the villains. Kirigiri spreads out the children throughout the bases in the USJ as Izuku and Aizawa, one by one, take down all of the villains that invaded there besides the main three, being Kirigiri, the Nomu, and Shigaraki. Shigaraki orders the Nomu to kill Aizawa and that brat, which would be Izuku. The Nomu charges at them and first goes for Aizawa, slamming his head down into the concrete as he repeatedly keeps doing this. After doing this and knocking Aizawa out, he charges in on Izuku and goes for a punch. Izuku has the punch permeate through him as he spins around and punches the Nomu in the face, only making it go back just a few centimeters. Shigaraki starts laughing and says how the Nomu has shock absorption. He has shock absorption, hyper regeneration, and super strength. This makes Izuku wonder how is he going to beat the Nomu. Izuku doesn't know what to do as he keeps trying to permeate and keep punching it until he gets an idea to start punching it very, very quickly, basically to overload the basically what All Might did to overload the blast absorption, as it's blast absorption, not nullification. So Izuku charges in on him as he has a barrage of punches right at him, kind of like Star Platinum punching something, basically, like a ton of punches going very fast. As it continues to punch the Nomu, as it falls over, exhausted from trying to heal from the punches, as the shock absorption just died. It's not there. Like the quirk just is gone. It got disabled from how many punches, and it's causing a fatigue on the Nomu. So Izuku goes in, grabs the brain of the Nomu, and rips it out, effectively killing it. So it still needed the brain to function, and without it, the Nomu is dead. Shigaraki starts yelling at Izuku on how easily he was able to defeat it and how he's such a cheater. Shigaraki runs in on Izuku as Kirigiri does not teleport him, as Ida still has not left to get the heroes. Shigaraki runs in on Izuku and tries to grab him, only for Izuku to permeate through him as he goes in and punches Shigaraki, which goes straight through Kirigiri's portal. After everyone gathers in with the heroes coming and arriving, Aizawa says that they will have 2 days until school is back. Once they go back to school, Aizawa says that they will have another 2 weeks to prepare for the UA Sports Festival. Once those 2 weeks are up, the Sports Festival is announced with all the students running out as Midnight tells Izuku to come up and give a speech as he's the first year representative. Izuku goes up as he says he just wants a good fight and he wants everyone to try their hardest. This gets an applaud from the crowd as he goes back and gets ready for the first competition, which was announced as a race. Once everyone is set up at the starting line for this race, Midnight yells, "Go!" They all start running off, with Izuku first seeing the 0-pointer. While he was stuck there, he noticed that his feet were frozen in the ground. So he permeates through the ground and positions himself to launch out past the 0-pointers. He does this as he's now in first place as he goes over to the cave, where there's only ropes to get past. Izuku tries to jump from rock to rock that just happened to be there, and he ends up getting across. Once he gets to the mines, he does the same thing he did with the 0-pointer as he permeates through the ground and passes the finish line, effectively giving him first place. After this, it is announced that they will be doing a cavalry battle with Izuku having 10 million points. He's going to have the same team as Team Cannon. This team would eventually have their foot stuck in one of Mei Hatsume's boots, or what she would call her babies, as once Izuku sees this and the teams are closing in on them, Izuku has his foot permeate through the ground as he has his foot permeate through the ground, so it goes out of the shoe as Izuku jumps up. Izuku effectively jumps up as everyone runs into his bottom team, as Midnight says that the event is over. After this, it is announced that they will be doing a 1v1. Izuku, of course, being against Shinso. Shinso would try and brainwash him, but Izuku doesn't talk. He doesn't speak because of Ojiro warning Izuku that he probably has a brainwashing quirk, and just don't answer to any of his questions, because as soon as he did, everything just went black and he can't remember anything that happened to him. Izuku nods to this as he goes to fight Shinso. Once there, Izuku immediately starts to hear Shinso start talking crap about his class and his parents and how easy his life must have been. Izuku doesn't do anything and just starts walking towards him as Shinso starts to get scared, and he starts spitting out questions very fast as he doesn't want to lose, as then that just diminishes chances of getting into Class 1A. Izuku goes up to him and punches him in the face as Shinso goes to brainwash him as he started to answer his questions, only to realize that he was out of balance. After all this, Izuku has a fight with Todoroki in the next match after Zero and Todoroki's match. Izuku ends up having Todoroki say objectively he thinks he's stronger than him, and how he has no idea what he had to face during his childhood with his abusive father. Izuku already nods and says, "Yeah, I know about Endeavor doing that. I can't believe you put your mom in a mental hospital. He tried to hide it too with the press, but I was able to do it. Find out." Todoroki's shocked by this, but just nods as they go and do the fight. Todoroki sends massive glacier of ice towards Izuku, only for Izuku to easily dodge it as Izuku goes in for a punch, which Todoroki thinks is going to happen, but Izuku blocks out Todoroki's eyes, spins around, and punches Todoroki right into the ground, which is one of Mirio's moves that he used on Class 1A. This basically just sends Todoroki to the ground holding his stomach, coughing up blood, as Izuku just kicks him out of balance, winning the match. It's announced that Izuku will be facing against Bakugo in the finals. Bakugo still wants to prove that he's better than Izuku, so he, of course, starts talking smack to Izuku. Izuku doesn't really care, as he just keeps walking up to Bakugo, as Bakugo sends a huge explosion at him and then a Houtsizer impact right at Izuku. Izuku obviously just permeated through the ground until he was behind Bakugo. Izuku put his hands into a ball as he smashes them down against Bakugo's head. As he goes in for a punch to the face, and then an uppercut, then kicking Bakugo up, jumping up, and then smashing him back into the ground, knocking Bakugo out. Izuku is awarded the number 1 spot, as Bakugo has to be chained up because he wanted a real fight and not Izuku supposedly being a coward and ending it right away. So that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy What If Deku Had Permeation. I will probably be doing part 4 tomorrow. And yeah, guys, bye.